There is a surprise element in this video. I'm going to change the tank as I've already unboxed the Mr. Clean one. In the previous video I did a lot of cleaning, brushing, oiling and polishing, and this was all because I wanted to match the Mr. Clean chrome with the rest of the bike. So let me begin removing the tank. As I mentioned, I'm going to do this on my own, DIY. I will remove the tank, which has 5 connections underneath, which I'll show right now, and I'll take it up to my room. I will remove the other connections, internal parts of the tank, and attach it to the new tank, and then come back and install it. So to begin with, as you all know, there is the side panel which needs to be removed to expose the lever. You get these 2 bolts exposed, so you'll have to remove these 2 and lift the tank up. I'm keeping a cloth here to avoid scratching of the tank, and I'll slowly lift it from here. I'll try to place this box underneath. Yep. So there are 5 connections. This is the drain hose. I pull it out. That's the first connection you need to remove. Then there is the fuel pump connector. So this is also pretty easy. You just need to press this down and it comes off. Just like that. And then on the other side there is the evap hose. So I'll pull that as well. We have removed 3 connections, and now there are 2 more. So this is the fuel gauge connector. So you just need to press the clip and it comes off easily. And finally we'll remove the main fuel supply pipe, and this also has a button here on both the ends. Just press it and lift it. So when you do that, there will be a little bit of fuel coming off, but that's okay, you can ignore it, and safely remove the tank. So I brought the tank to my room because it's easier to do it here. I'll have to shift all the housing that is there inside this tank onto the new tank and then install it on the bike. And I thought of doing it here because it's easier. Otherwise I would have just kept on sweating in the parking area. There must be about 1 liter fuel in this. And I'll have to remove it from the top. The same fuel cap will go on the new tank because the tank doesn't come with any other accessory. So the petrol is all out. Let's remove the fuel pump assembly and the fuel gauge assembly. For that I'll be using this toolbox. It has enough socket heads and driver bits, so I think I'll be using this one to remove the bolts on the fuel gauge, and I need a bit for removing the screws on the fuel pump. That fits in perfectly. There are 6 screws on the fuel pump, so let's remove those first. Let's also remove this fuel filter connection here so that I can get access to the bolts below for the fuel gauge. Okay, now I have better access to the bolts. So once you remove the bolts on this side, the filter comes off so that we can take the fuel pump properly out. Now be careful while pulling this off because you'll have to put a little bit of pressure. Just make sure you don't damage the fuel pump. So as soon as you remove, you'll actually see O-rings. Oh, one of them is broken. Okay. So this is the smaller O-ring which sits inside here. I think this is also kind of damaged. I don't think I can use this on the new one. And this is the bigger one which is already broken. So obviously not going to use this. Oh god, I'm not sure if I can find it online or in the Royal Enfield store, but let's see. But I'm definitely not going to use this because these are going to protect leakage of petrol from here. So Yeah, it's going to be risky if I'm going to use this. So let me keep this aside. Then now we'll take out the fuel gauge. Again, you'll have to be very careful while taking this off, because there's a metal rod that is not straight. So you'll have to twist it and turn it a little bit, but make sure you don't damage it. So as soon as I pull it out, I'm going to tilt it a little forward first, pull it back out, and then again tilt it on the little bit on the left side so that I can see the metal rod properly. And yeah, there you go. So you'll have to rotate it like this so that it comes off properly. So if you're going to put too much pressure, then there is a chance that you might damage this rod, so you don't want to do that. And there is a rubber protective layer here, and these are the only two things you have to remove from the tank. But now I'm worried about the O-rings, because the inner one is still okay, it's not fully damaged, but this side of the rubber is coming off, but the big O-ring is fully gone. So I'll have to stop the video here and see if I can get hold of the O-rings. The first contact is definitely going to be Royal Enfield. I'll see if they have this in stock. If not, I'll have to look for some third-party providers or vendors online. But yeah, see you on the other side. I'm back, and I'm back with some good news. I was able to find the genuine parts from Royal Enfield, the AWR Ustamani company, which is managing Royal Enfield here in Dubai. I called them up, and first they said that they were not able to find the part number because the main server is down and it is weekend. So thanks to ChatGPT, I looked it up. I was able to get the exact part number. I gave it to them and they were able to find it in their local system. So yes, I'm happy to have both the rings, the internal small one and the external big one. So let me remove this tank from here and bring the new Mr. Clean one. So first, let's start with the fuel gauge. So again, I'll do the same way. I'll rotate it so that this block goes in first, and then slowly push it sideways, and then forward and in. That's it. So if you're placing your tank in the same order, I think it will be easy for you to identify the positioning, because I see an arrow mark here. I think it's like towards the left side for me, but yeah, this is pointing upwards. Now this is done. I'm going to bring in the fuel pump. So here is where we'll be using the new O-rings. Let me first open up the small one just to compare with the old one. It's the exact same one. Be very careful with the placement of this small O-ring. You'll have to place it right inside here. Make sure it doesn't actually fall off into the tank. So there's a proper groove here where it sits perfectly. If you can see it in the close-up, you'll understand. And yeah. Now let me open up the bigger O-ring. Again, comparing the sizes, yeah, you can make out that it's of the same size. So for this, I'll put it on the fuel pump here. Just place it here so that it gets sealed, and then drop the fuel pump into the tank. Right? Try to hold the ring while you're doing that so that it doesn't fall off. And this goes in like this, just like that. And then to align the actual external ring, the metallic ring, there is a small piece of plastic is kind of protruding, so that you can understand that this is where the groove is, right? So this is how you can place it properly, and then you can see the holes of the screws as well. So just align it like that. This sits a little cross, so it's fine, because here if you see the fuel filter is aligning properly with the fuel gauge here. So this plate of for the bolts, right, it has to align on the two bolts on this side, and I'll just put the screws back on. Just make sure you've tightened them all. Now you can start putting the bolts on the fuel gauge. On this side you have to align this again and then put the bolts. Then you'll put the fuel filter back on. Okay, you make sure you hear the proper click. So this is all you got to do to change the internals of the tank with the fuel pump and the fuel gauge. Now let's put the petrol into the tank, and then we'll move to the motorcycle to fix the tank. Now in order to pour the petrol back into the new tank, I'm going to use a filter to make it easy, and I'm going to pour it from the bucket. I change it over to a new bucket because that was too big and this is pretty smaller. That took some effort. Okay, everything is in place. So I removed the tank in the night, and you guys probably were not able to see it clearly. So now I'm going to fix it back in daylight. So to start off, I have the tank here filled with petrol, and if you look at the tank closely, there are these two grooves here on both the sides, which will have to sit on these two knobs on the bike. So now that the tank is in place, let's fix the internals. We have to make 5 connections, if you remember. So to lift the tank a little bit up, I'm going to use a set of cloths here, just so that I can get access to the cables underneath. So the 5 connections are, first of all, there is this main fuel connector. Then we have the evap hose, the drain hose. This is the fuel pump connector, which goes in here. And then finally there is this green cable and connector inside, which is for the fuel gauge, right? So let's connect them one by one. I'll first start with the fuel gauge connector. Now it's all fixed, and it's the final test. So I'm going to turn the ignition on and check if the fuel gauge is working fine and if I'm able to start the bike properly. One thing which we have already noticed is, thankfully, there's no leakage from the tank, which means all the internals are sitting tight and clean. I see the fuel gauge indicator blinking. Yeah, because obviously the petrol is less.